And today we're going to be talking about a way that you can generate revenue with amenities. And then also wrapped into that is just compliance with SB 1383. And that it's all about the recycling and the organics. And anyway, so this is definitely something every owner needs to be aware of, every property management company needs to be aware of. Before we get started with that, AOA has been around for over 40 years, and our goal really is to help you succeed. And we want everybody to be prosperous. Your renters need to be prosperous for you to be prosperous. And we want to keep them happy and keep those units rented and make it great for everybody. So we're giving you all different types of content through the magazine, emails, and here on YouTube as well. If you haven't subscribed or joined AOA, definitely join. Go to aoausa.com. It's $97 for a year, and that's a flat fee. And so anyway, we want to invite you to join. And then also, if you're up in the Oakland area, we will have an in-person seminar. Again, those are free for members. And if you're not a member, you can pay to attend, but it's going to be about habitability and inspection rights as an owner. And anyway, so if you're up in the Oakland area, we'll have a landlord-tenant attorney giving that presentation. You'll want to go. And then, of course, August 22nd, we have the AOA $1 Million Trade Show and Landlording Conference at the Long Beach Convention Center. This is a free event for everybody. And if you've never ever been a member, you also get a free membership, a free 6-month membership, all access membership for 6 months, but you have to go. And anyway, there'll be over 150 different vendors there. There'll be 20 different seminars. And our speaker today, I know that they will be there, and they'll be able to field questions for you. And so I just wanted to give out a shout out to Valley Living for sponsoring this event. And they've been around since 1995. They've set a standard for doorstep collection and recycling, serving over 2 million apartment homes across more than 35 states. They're the only national provider of these services and full-time amenities to the multifamily industry. And Valley Living enhances property value and convenience for both managers and residents. Their offerings include turns, maintenance, pet station solutions, and that make life easier and more efficient. Valley Living also guarantees on-site events to educate residents. Man, doesn't that sound good? I mean, can we even just get the recycle right with all the, anyway. Right. So that's what they do. And anyway, so a big shout out to them, a thank you for them for making this even possible. And so our speaker today is a seasoned expert in property and asset management. She brings a wealth of experience in managing large multifamily portfolios, overseeing major renovations, and driving successful financial results. With a strong background in financial analysis, training, and client services, our speaker is dedicated to building high-performing teams and creating thriving communities. A top 3 performer in a national mixed-use multifamily REIT portfolio, she's committed to leveraging their expertise to drive impact and foster successful business partnerships. And so it's really a pleasure to introduce Kameryn Groeger.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeff. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. I had like a little stall out there on my side. So thank you so much. What a kind introduction. It's always, flattering to hear a little summary of yourself from time to time. But it's a great honor to be a part of the AOA. We just became partners not too long ago. I actually just joined Valley Living about 8 months ago. And I worked with Valley Living when I was a manager on site and a regional manager over multi-properties. And so I knew it as the client and as the management company. And then over the years, Valley Living has just blossomed and has come into a whole new technology platform that truly serves the resident and the manager in a way that we never did before, which is why I'm here today. So I wouldn't be on this side of the playing field if I didn't believe in the product that we're selling, and how we can service the team and provide value to those properties. So here we are. If you're good with it, I'm just going to dive right in. I've got a presentation to share with everybody. We do have a lot to our company. Not every single detail is in this presentation today because of limited time, but no fault of Jeff or the AOA. It's just we have a lot of stuff within Valley Living. So that being said, I'm going to give you a quick summary. I'll dive right into the presentation, and then we're going to do a little question and answer at the end. So anybody who has questions, I believe, Jeff, you just want them to type that in the chat, and then we'll cover that at the end of the little chat today. Okay, so to give you guys an umbrella review of Valley Living, we primarily provide doorstep trash services. We also partner with two other companies within Valley Living. One of them is called Torch Fitness, where we actually bring fitness instructors to your residents so that you can actually provide fitness training on site. And then we have another branch called Multi-Pro, and Jeff had mentioned this as well, where we can actually help with maintenance service requests on site. We can help with unit turns, and now we can actually do large projects. Like if you have a slurry seal, or you have power washing or window washing, big things that are out of the norm that you might budget for in CapEx throughout the year, we can be your kind of one-stop shop for all of that and help funnel those vendors into you so that you don't have to make all those calls and schedule all those services. So we'd love to partner with you in other ways outside of what I'm presenting today. And Jeff also mentioned that we're going to be at the trade show. So if you run out of time on the call today and can't listen to everything, certainly you can go back and listen to the link, or just come on the 22nd. And I will personally be there along with my partner, Preston. We'd love to chat with you that day as well. Plus, we have some raffle prizes. And Jeff said I should probably tell you what those are so I can get you to come. We've got this beautiful bottle of tequila for any of you who indulge. And we also have a raffle for a Southwest gift card for anybody who wants to wrap up their summer with a little last minute trip. So come by, stop by, enter the raffles, and get more information from us there. Okay, so let me share my screen and get going on my presentation for you guys. Okay, so can everybody see this? Yep, Jeff is shaking his head, yes. Okay, so Valley Living Connect. We have a number of different tiers to our service platform. The best and most all-inclusive tier is Valley Living Connect, where we'll talk about the details of it, but your residents will not only get the doorstep trash removal for all three of our waste streams, which includes regular waste, recycling, and now we offer composting, but they'll also have a resident app, which I'll go into detail with, which in this case, with the Connect features, they'll have access to like lots of virtual classes, workout classes, cooking classes, childhood, learning classes. So there's some really cool and unique resident experiences through that app that your residents would have access to with that platform. Outside of Connect, there's also just our traditional interactive platform where they still have access to the app, but not necessarily all the classes. And so that changes our price per door just slightly. And then if you don't want the app at all, which I don't necessarily recommend, the app makes it a lot easier for residents and your on-site management to really make sure the program functions at its best capacity. But you have that option if you think that's best for you. So diving right in, let's see, there we go. So who we are, this is our agenda, our process, how we add value, and then ultimately what comes next after today. and what I hope to be able to help you with going forward. Here's my contact information below so you can see who I am, my phone number, my email address. I'll also have it at the very end if you don't write it down right now. And I'll keep that up on the screen for a minute. And that'll be available for anybody who wants it in the future. But please call me. I am your local sales rep here in Orange County. And so I cover Orange County and a snippet of LA up to Pasadena. But we have sales reps just like me covering all of Southern California, including our Northern California team and all across the US. I just happen to be your local person here. So I can drive out to your communities ultimately anytime you want me to stop by and say hi. We also do little lunch and learns. I can come to a regional office and meet with a number of your managers or regionals if you guys think that would be better. So we're happy to be your local peer here. So combining people and technology as the amenity innovator is what we do. Our team members are all W-2 associates, including our service valets who service your police at night. A lot of those folks are part-time people. They have day jobs, and then at night they make a little bit of extra money and they go out and service your communities by doing the doorstep pickup. But I love that we're all W-2 and not 1099. We have loyalty. We have people who've been with us for years. They understand the service that we like to provide and that we strive to give to you. And we do that through making sure that we're committed to them as much as they're committed to us. We do love to hire military veterans. So anybody who's a military vet and wants to make some extra cash, give us a call. And we do extensive vetting with background drug screening. We know that these folks are on your property. They're traveling through your community, at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock when residents are home. Your residents will see us. And so we want to make sure we're professional and that we're taking care of you. If we engage with your residents while we're there, we expect them to take care of those residents as you would. And technology is the piece that I mentioned before. We have invested over $3 million in technology just in the last couple of years. It might be closer to 5 million at this point, for improving our platforms. And anybody who's used us in the past more than 3 or 4 years ago wouldn't have experienced the technology platforms that we have today. And it's truly a game changer. You can take it from me speaking from experience. We did not have the app. We did not have a client dashboard. It was just all manual reports that were emailed over, and we just kind of had to take sides of either valet living or the resident. And as you all know, the resident is always going to be right. And so as a vendor, we really just wanted to make sure you had true transparency into what we do in the evening, and that your residents had a way to get a hold of us if they need us for anything. So we'll dive into that in a little bit. But we're available across every platform, iOS, Android, and on the web. And so if a resident doesn't have a cell phone, which at some of our communities, there are folks who don't have those, they can access us from a computer. And if they just don't want to engage on the computer or technology, they just put their trash outside and we'll take it for them. So Jeff had mentioned that we service over 2 million homes. We are now at 2.03 million doors across the country. We are the biggest national provider and have the best legislative support within our company to help keep up with all things multifamily when it comes to trash hauling, amenity services, and serving you in those ways. So we talked a little bit about our employees and reducing risk at your property. If anything were to happen, our insurance takes care of our employees. We would not look to you for that. So the liability comes off of you and remains ours. And then we're available by phone 7 days a week. So you can get a hold of anybody. There's live chat. And we really are here to support you so that you can be hands off and just keep running in other directions that we all know you have going on. We also have a local team. So while we are national and our primary office is out of Florida, like I said, I'm here in Orange County. We have 6 reps here in Orange County, or in Southern California specifically, serving you. And what we've done over the last year is add an account executive in ultimately each market. In Southern California, we currently have 2 of them. And once we provide the sales and we come in and we roll out the program to your residents, our account executive then takes over and makes sure that you're satisfied through your journey with our team. So it's not like I sold you the product and off I go and you're on your own to figure it out. We have someone dedicated to your account to help you anytime you need it. They're an email, they're a phone call, or they're a service ticket away from taking care of what you need. So we've got all the local people here. We also have a director of sales based out of Southern California, and then our VP who oversees all of the West Coast is also based here, and she's a quick flight away, but she's still here in the California market. So that is who we are and how we bring value. This is where we get into the nuggets of what's important to you, right? So we truly are an amenity service provider. While we absolutely provide a solution for you when it comes to helping reduce your fines, commingling fines, your overflow fines with your hauler, we truly are a service for your residents. And so there's been a lot of talk about junk fees and are we a junk fee or what is a junk fee? Valet living is not a junk fee. We truly are, because we are providing a service to your residents at their doorstep. We are an amenity for your properties. So that being said, we can help you generate revenue. You can bill your resident back more than what we bill you. And you can do that because, again, we are not a junk fee. So we have all the language, we have all the material to help provide you with that legislative support to show that we aren't junk fees. We also have letters and communication that you can give to your hauler to help them feel confident that you're providing the right solution when it comes to the compost program. So that being said, we're not junk fees. Please be confident in that. But we help really enhance your resident experience because of that amenity service we provide. And how it helps you is by increasing your resident retention. Of course, your residents are happier because they're getting an additional amenity that a lot of your comps may or may not have. So it's either keeping you competitive with those who have it or helping you stand out amongst those who don't. And accelerate your lease ups, right? So lease ups, we can do a really cool phase-in program and really help drive that momentum of getting people in the door because you have this extra amenity and you're rolling it out right when they move in. Building community, so residents making personal and virtual connections to help create a sense of community. I love this piece because if you have that Connect app and you want to host a resident event, you can essentially have a live person doing a cooking show in your clubhouse while your residents are cooking in person. So, that's just one example. You can have a fitness instructor on video teaching a fitness class, and we provide that through the app so that your residents can come together as a community, but it's provided through our service that you're already getting. So fun stuff like that. You're attracting new people. A lot of residents love the technology piece of having an interactive app platform where they can get classes that they don't have to actually drive to. And then, of course, saving time and money. A lot of this, I'm going to say, has to do with your maintenance team. Maintenance teams generally seem to be our biggest fans outside of your residents because we're helping get trash to the dumpster. So think of your residents just not being able to go to the trash yet. They're putting their trash bag outside their front door. They'll get to it when they leave to go to the grocery store, wherever they're heading out to. We will take care of that for you 5 to 7 days a week. So our service platform generally functions on a 5-day-a-week program. We are flexible with that. If you need 3 days a week, we can do that as well. It all depends on the size of your building and where we're currently operating in that territory. But at the end of the day, if your residents if they know that we're coming that evening, they're just going to wait. They're going to put their trash out at night. They're not going to leave it out during the day because you'll likely send them a lease violation for doing So if there's a one-off and they need to go throw something away, they can. Spaces as clean as possible, outside of any resident behavior that might occur. But really can save your maintenance team a lot of time and money, creating more efficiencies on site. And then the last piece of the puzzle is increasing your NOI. I mentioned you can bill back more than what we actually charge to you. And so there's generally about a $10 to $20 revenue stream on that per door. So you can calculate that based on the number of units you have at your property and determine that revenue. And I'm happy to work through that with you on a case by case basis. So breezing through the rest of this, because I am getting short on time. I lost track of it's 12:22. But connecting with your residents, amenities and technology. Again, we talked about having 7-day-a-week service to help support your residents online. They can chat with us anytime. And we talked about all the different fun cooking classes and things that they can get at their leisure. The last thing I wanted to mention is that we have a callback feature. So if your residents forgot to put their trash out on time, and generally it'll be in the evening, and our team has already walked past their front door, they can call us back while our team is still there so that they can truly use the service that they're paying for. That feature is amazing. People use it all the time, and it is brilliant, in my opinion, that we came up with that. So thanks to our service valets for constantly running back and forth. Amenity services are truly essential. We talked about retention, but here's some numbers for you. 21% of residents will leave because of either a lack of amenities or not being able to use amenities as they wish. 44% of those of the general public say amenities are a major factor that they're looking for when they're choosing a home. People love our service. No one wants to take their trash out. No one has time for it. And we add that additional layer for you. 52% of residents say they valet valet trash services. Well, almost 80% of people want some kind of recycling. So if your community isn't already offering recycling, we can help with that. Again, we're going to talk about composting as well, but 80% is a huge number, and we completely solve that for you. So here we are. The 3 waste streams we've already mentioned. We've got organic trash, recycling, and organics. When and if you roll this out at your communities, which I hope you do, we will go through all of the things that go into each. Our app that residents would use also helps them understand how to use those 3 waste streams. So if they ever get confused on what goes into recycling or composting, they can pull up the app and it gives it right there to them. We add the 4th stream, which is your income stream. So we truly do help create that revenue for you. And we can play with those numbers as much as we need to in order to make it work within, our service model. So the way that we work, our process is that we have a 2-hour window where residents will put their trash out. Let's just say our service starts at 7 p.m. So residents would put their trash bins that we provide. There, you can see the top right of my screen, there's a black trash bin that comes in. Resident is ready to put their trash out between 5 and 7 p.m. And then our service would start. We can also do 8 p.m. depending on where you are and how many service valets are in that territory. What have geo-tracking on the cell phones for our service valets. So you will be able to see how they maneuver through your property every single night that they're there. So they move around with either a bag that you see this gentleman in the middle in the green shirt holding, and that's generally for properties where you have stairs. They're leak proof. They will not, if you have dripping bags of trash and we put them in there, they will not drip trash down your hallway. Again, another money saver for you to not have to constantly clean those walkways. and another money saver for your maintenance to not have to constantly go through and maybe power wash those down. Time savers for sure. So beyond that, your valet will let you know when they arrive through the app. The residents will be notified we're here. The residents will be notified 15 minutes before we leave, saying if you need us to come back, call us back. And then we let them know that we're done for the night. Please bring your trash cans in. We have a commitment to you that we will stay off your property past 11 p.m. If the property is huge, it'll take from 7 to 11. If the property is small, we might be out of there at 8:30. So just depending on the size of the building, we work through that with you. That at the end of the day, we don't want to be there all night, overnight, disturbing your residents while they sleep. Okay, we good?
Yeah, go back. Yeah, you're good. So
okay. I was chatting just about gosh, I just lost my train of thought also. Oh, new and renewing residents and how we phase the program in. Did you catch that part?
Yeah, go ahead and start there. That'd be great.
Okay, great. So for new and renewing residents, everyone, as they sign a new lease, you can start charging them the rate that you're wanting to charge them for the service. Everyone else, from the day that we begin service, will get that service for free until they renew their lease. So that's part of our 12-month phase-in that we work with you through. Got a whole pretty calculator for it. I am not showing you that today. It's too complicated, but we would do that for you and show you how that phase-in cycle works. And so you're not actually paying for your full community's service until the final 12th month. So the goal is to help you see revenue from month one. We don't want you having to just pay for the service. We want you recouping the revenue to offset that expense, plus make you an income. Recycling, we've talked about how we offer the recycling program. If you just wanted us to offer one of our 3 waste streams, we can do just recycling. We can do just composting. We can do all 3. We're already at the doorstep. Let us do all 3 for you. We don't have to. Again, we can play with that to tailor it to your community the best that you'd like, and go from there. And then this is the fun stuff. This is what Jeff was talking about. I'll save a lot of this for questions and answers, but in general, I think a lot of folks here have heard about SB 1383. It is the mandatory compliance program for composting across California. Cal Recycle is leading the charge on that. And so every city and every waste hauler has their own program that they've implemented for their communities that they service. And we will work with your hauler to make sure and give you the language that you need to share with them about what we're doing. So your hauler has an expectation that you as a landlord will educate your residents on a regular basis. They have a schedule for you likely to tell your residents how to participate in the compost program. We take that away off of your hands and we include that in our app. So your residents have access to it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. So we will take care of getting you in compliance with the program. Your hauler will help get you in compliance with the bins that they provide for hauling. And we will help take that compost and recycle and trash downstairs to the hauler bins and make sure it goes into the right receptacle. So what we're seeing across our properties is that properties are getting significantly reduced fines from their haulers for commingling, where you've got regular trash going into recycle bins, because as we all know, it's challenging, right? To know which trash goes into which bin, and residents just don't have time. They just want to throw their trash away and run out the door. So we solve for that for you and can certainly help with SB 1383. Our legislative team internally here is tracking that, and we'll continue to monitor that for years to come. So the compost solution we will provide you with wall dispensers for your residents to use. They'll get 1,300 bags in a box from us each month. You will get 1,300. The residents will have access to use those bags at their leisure. We will provide every resident, if you would like us to, a green toter for their kitchen countertop to help them continue to use the compost program. So we provide all of that to you as a part of your contract when you launch the program with us, and we'll bring monthly bags to you throughout the term of your contract. Legislative initiatives, we're also tracking a couple other bills. SB 253 is regarding reporting requirements for companies with less than $1 billion in revenue. We can help give you information on that. That's coming up. It's going to be enforced in the next year and a half. And then SB 261, requirements for companies with less than $500,000. So if you fall into one of those and we're a client with you and you need our help with anything, we can definitely keep you in the loop with what's going on there. And then interactive doorstep, we've talked a lot about this. I'm short on time. I'm going to skip right through this one. We talked about it being available on all these different platforms. This is kind of what it looks like when you're in the app as a resident, and the residents can engage with us. As you see on the screen here, there's a number of different things. There's some days we don't service because they're a holiday, and we like to give our people a day off as well. And then if you forgot to, put your trash out and you want the callback feature, you can see that there too. So all kinds of easy things. This is one of my last talking points outside of wrapping up this conversation with you guys, but investments in your experience as a landlord, as an owner. You will have a dashboard that you can log into anytime you want. You can see how we're serving you. So in the upper left-hand corner is the platform landing page. Your team can go in and see how many activities we're expected to do every night. Did we complete those activities? How many observations we made? And we'll take pictures of those observations so that your team on site, if there's someone who's constantly leaving their trash out or they're just not complying with the program, that you have backup data to show the resident. You can send them a personalized letter that will help generate for you. Drop in those pictures. It makes it really, really easy. Your residents can put in service requests on the top right of the screen. You can see that in the upper left corner. And just know how we're providing service to you. That's the most important. We can give you all kinds of information on how many people have downloaded the app and geo tracking and what your service valets are doing on site. So I love this. This is like a one-stop shop to get you a lot of information at your fingertips anytime you're looking for it. Virtual amenities, I'm skipping through. We talked about that. We've talked about all kinds of fun classes that we do. I wanted to give you a footprint picture here of all of the things or all of the properties that we service across just Southern California. We go from Santa Barbara basically all the way down to TJ. So right at the border, we service a lot of communities down in Chula Vista there, and currently servicing over 65,000 doors across SoCal alone. The growing trend, just according to AMLE, who does actually create a 2024 Energy Star, they got the Energy Star Partner of the Year award for the 6th consecutive year. They are specifically showing that 85%, almost 86% of AMLE residents are concerned with climate change, right? 66% of those are saying that they need to find solutions for environmental issues. 83% rank recycling, composting, and other waste diversion as a top priority. So you have buy-in from your customers already. They want to do this. They don't know how. They don't have time. So we come in, we provide that solution, we build value, we give you an amenity service, and you can create NOI. So it's ultimately a win for everyone. And that's why I love my job. You have marketing support. There's all kinds of flyers you can print out. We could get to that later. And then this is me. So from questions here, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff. I tried to breeze through as quickly as I could, and we'll take it from there. Thank you, guys.
All right. Wow, Kameryn, thank you so much for sharing. And, could you tell us a little bit about the typical number of units in a building that you're servicing? You have 65,000 here just in Southern California that you're serving. Tell us a little bit, what's your average client look like?
So our business model best serves communities over 100 units. It does not mean that we don't service buildings under that. It's just the price per door can shift a bit because we're still paying the same wage to the service valet that we would at a larger building, right? We still have to pay the employee, and that doesn't change. So ultimately, you're going to get the best deal from us if you're over 100 units, but we will work with you if you're not. And if there's a cluster of communities, let's just say you have 5 communities all within a mile radius, and our service valet can hit all 5 pretty quickly, we can give you a price based on that portfolio. But yeah, that would be the goal.
What would be the minimum number that you would consider being feasible?
Well, I think that just goes back to the 100 units. I will tell you, like, I've seen 18 units before, but that's because it had a sister property right next door with 150. So we serve the 18, we go right next door and we finish the project. So it really just depends on who we're serving already right next door to those small properties.
Gotcha. Okay, great. So right now, this is a perfect time. If you have a question and you're watching on AOAUSA.com, there's the blue help button at the bottom. Bottom right side. And so you can type in a question there and get that to us. And then we'll be able to ask a question. And, can you share, you had mentioned before we went live, you had mentioned that they're starting to assess fines for people with just not being in compliance. Could you just share a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're starting to see it heavily up in Northern California, specifically Sacramento, of course, where the bill was approved. But across Southern California, I've been looking at trash invoices with our current clients and even new clients that we're bringing on board. And if you look on your trash bill, you'll generally see after your initial billing that there are commingling fines or overflow fines. So if you have bins that are really, really full and the trash is overflowing from those bins, your hauler fines you for that. They're taking pictures, they're adding the pictures to the bill. So they're getting really, really assertive with how they're tracking everything so that they can bill you for those things, right? And so we want to help with that. Our team will come in, and if there's already a bin that's full, we're not adding to it. We're going to the other bin that has minimal trash in it, and we'll fill that one. We will not create additional problems for overflow for you. I am seeing a lot of commingling fines specific to recycling. So regular trash, seeing a lot of.
Oh, there we go. Try unmuting, maybe.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, there we go. Great.
Oh, weird. So from a recycling standpoint, I'm seeing commingling. So with the recycle bins, they are starting to charge depending on who the hauler is, depending on the city that you're in. Some cities are certainly more aggressive than others, that the recycle bins are getting pictures taken and fines for commingling with regular trash or compost. So again, we help divert that to the right container, and we help make sure that we don't add to any overflow or full bin.
Great. And, just the commingling, I don't know, is it education? Sometimes people, they just don't want to put it in their regular trash can, their regular trash bag. They're like trying to save 20 cents or something. So,
well, and I think too, Jeff, people just, when you live in an apartment building, and I've lived in plenty in my life, you're at an apartment community and you're just running out the door to go to work. You're carrying your bag of trash with you to your car, and you just want to dump and go, right? And not every property has a recycle bin with the regular trash bin. They might have 20 trash hauling bins and only 3 recycle containers. So if I'm the resident, I'm not going to walk my recycle trash all the way over on the other side of the property, throw my trash away, and then come back to my car. I don't want to put trash in my car to drive it over there either. So I think that's a big component to this is properties don't have room to have recycle and trash, big bins in every enclosure. They don't have the option to do it in trash chute rooms. So let's help streamline that. Let's make sure that we provide a solution to get all of the trash into the right location to help reduce any of those fines that owners and managers are seeing. California's goal by January of this coming year is to have 75% of recycling and compost diverted to those proper channels. So out of the regular trash bin, 75% needs to be diverted out. That's huge, and we can help.
So can you explain that a little more? That was the next question. Is just
I have you muted. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I lost my, I
You
can
lost
hear
your
myself.
audio?
I can see that I'm talking.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we can hear you. In the chat, I'm going to put.
Let's do this. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Great. Can you hear me?
Okay, I'm gonna
now?
not have an echo. Let's try this.
Okay, here we go. So things are getting wonky, folks. Not sure why, but just keep going. And you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, just one of the questions is, oh gosh, now I lost it. So yeah, it looked like it had to be reduced, like just the recycled trash itself was supposed to be reduced 75%. Is that?
It's all of it. So yeah, recycling and composting has to be completely diverted out of the regular waste trash. So you've got now a lot of properties have their compost toters from the hauler. So they're going to have a regular trash bin, a recycle bin, and a compost bin. And 75% of recycling and composting needs to be diverted out into those recycle and compost bins, so that we don't have as much trash going to the big dump.
Okay, got it. So they just want us to become more efficient at recycling. It's not that.
Yeah, and composting. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not that they're looking for a reduction in the amount of trash. They just want it to be done.
Correct. I mean, they would love that, but that's not the goal. The goal is to divert it so that composting can actually help the planet, right? It would be nice to know what they're planning on doing with all of that. Let's put it back into the ground and help vegetation grow. That would be really cool. And that's another side of the story, right? But recycling and composting, going into different places when it comes to dumps and local, the big place where all the trash goes. That being said, we want to get all of that out of the regular trash and into the right diverted bins.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for clarifying that one for us.
Yeah. Yeah. You got it.
And yeah, just on the education piece, do you have on your website, is there some pointers or something that like a resource that you have there, or is that just more internally what you're doing with your clients?
Yeah, there is some information on our website, but because we're a national firm, this is very California specific. And so that's going to come from someone like me and getting you in touch with any of your local hauler to help determine what it is that they're requiring of those managers and owners on site and how we can help with that. So again, at the end of the day, we're 4 months away from it being a mandate for everyone. So at this point, it's just find a great program for you through us and let us help you implement that with your residents. We bring everybody into, we'll have a resident event. We do all the training. We distribute all the bins for you. And we really take care of the launching of all of that. So it's really off your hands.
Great. Well, hey, thank you so much for taking time to be with us today. And
yeah, my pleasure.
I really look forward to meeting you and seeing your booth. It's going to be kind of fun, I think. And
sounds good. Yeah, we're happy to have everyone there.
I won't steal any of the tequila before you give the bottle away.
I know we're going to have to guard that really well with our.
You really will. You really will. I have to put a person on that.
That's great. Well, I'll come find you on the 22nd.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Okay. Take care.
Thanks.